Alright, hello everyone, this is just going to be another revision video similar to the conversion types. This is just going to be going over the three main types of applying your preservative to timber. So like the wood, I'm going to draw 4 rectangles, and these are going to count as looking straight in at the end grain of the wood. So like we've learned, there's 3 different types. Some are more effective than the other ones, and some have a different purpose. Like you can use it for different things, or it has to be used for different things. So here we have our three pieces. And the first one that we had gone over is the spray and paint method. So like that, as we've gone over in class, putting a spray or a coat of paint on it only provides really a layer on top of the wood, because it doesn't penetrate too deeply into the timber. Like, it will never reach the center of the piece. So it's essentially like in the book, it's drawn a square on the inside, as it all penetrates around the same way. You can see it like that. It'll never get into the center, so that could be used for say a fence or something. It'll provide that layer of protection from water or fungal or insects, but it will eventually wear off that layer. So that's why you need to keep on painting or repainting your fences. So then the second method is the immersion. It's the immersion method, and that involves dipping, or nearly like how you'd wash clothes or something. They're immersed in spongy water or soapy water even. So you have your piece of wood and it is dipped into the preservative, so that gives it a lot more time, and it's covered from all angles for the preservative to seep into the wood, get into the pores, and really penetrate deeply into it. So for this one, you have a much wider area covered, and it's a lot closer to the center of the wood. So you can see even the comparison between these two. This just provides a layer, probably a uniform thickness of a preservative getting into the wood, but this one, it's coming a lot closer to the center, and it's covering from every angle. So that would be that'll be great for nearly decking timber, or some wood that's going to be used for a park bench that's going to be always out, and you may not be able to paint over every side of it. So that's when you can get all angles covered from it. And then the last one is the pressure treatment. This one's probably the best. This one will get nearly very close into the center, and it will leave this pattern, a very small circle that isn't treated. So have an example here of the comparison between the spray paint, which is just putting a layer, can be kind of signified by a marker. So obviously if you get a marker and just tap it, you only get one small wee dot. But then if you leave it down on the page for a while longer, the dot's a bit bigger compared to this one. But then if you leave it on the page and put actual force behind it as well, you can see there that the dot gets much bigger. So that could be a way of remembering it, that if you just hold it down on it, the ink's going to flow out, get into the paper, it's going to seep through the fibres of the paper, and then with the pressure, you put more pressure behind it, it's going to seep into the paper a lot more. So that's your 3 methods: your spray or paint, your immersion method, and your pressure treatment method. So just at the end of the class, we're going to be just doing a quiz now, and then we'll finish up for the end.